I can give a quick demo. Um, okay, so I'm gonna demo a couple of things that Elliot and I worked on. The things at the beginning are all Elliot. Unfortunately, he's not feeling great today. Um, yeah, so this is the users table. You can see for a little while we've had this embed partitioning. I don't remember if I demoed it, but if you go into a typical user, you have all of these options for control, and you can control like different permissions on connections, things like that. So one of the things Elliot did this week is if you look at an embed user, now all those controls are eliminated. We have the option, obviously, to bring them back if we want to. Um, but for now, since the embed SSO link strictly defines all the controls, they're just not visible. That's one. Let's talk about user attributes. So another thing Elliot did was, see, this is my user attribute table for my instance. I have this attribute called team. If I click in, I can see that none of the other users have an attribute set here, but this embed user has one, and it's set to the Warriors. Uh, Pretty sure Elliot's a Lakers fan. Sorry, Elliot. Up here, we're Warriors fans. Um, and I can do a quick demo of this working. So just bear with me because I gotta kind of hack a couple things. But um, you can see here I have this extra parameter user attributes. And you all have seen that it's already set to the Warriors. So let's hook Elliot up and set it to the Lakers. Obviously, this will be easier to do than manually hacking in the future. Um, and if I go visit this link, so the dashboard loads. And if I go back now, when I refresh this, you see it's Lakers. Good job, Elliot. Um, what else? Oh
Can I
yeah.
ask a question on that, Nate?
Yeah, go for it.
If for the user attributes that you have in the URL there, if you passed through, like, does the user attribute have to be pre-created in our system, like through the UI, or if you pass through a brand new attribute, so like not team, but I don't know, company, will we auto create that on like the first time it
Yeah, we
comes
kicked
through?
that around a bunch, and for now, what we settled on is the admin has to go in and explicitly create the user attribute. Uh, when you create a user attribute, there are a bunch of settings you have to set,
Mm-hmm.
and we felt like we want to start with a more controlled uh, approach to begin with, and then in the future, we can make it so that the embed SSO link could define user attributes sort of dynamically and then like construct them and insert them into the system. You could imagine like a case with like a SAML integration where somehow you want to, import a bunch of things from like your SAML auth provider and convert them to user attributes and just have them like plug into Omni directly. So we could do that in the future, but for now, TLDR, you have to create them manually first.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah. Um, there was one other one at least. Two other ones. Okay, so I added this new control here. This is a bit techy, but basically the HEP spec allows you to define this header called frame ancestors. And this is something that applies to all embeds, not just embed SSO. But it was one of the points of feedback from our security audit. And so basically what setting this says is um, embedded content is only accessible when rendered inside of a domain specified by frame ancestors. So here I have nothing set. and I can show you I have this live embed. This is just running on my local host, and it's also pointing to my local instance. And because I have nothing set here, this page loads. Whoops, wrong one. This page loads fine. If I set this to like Omni, well, let me just set it to something obviously not. It's like foobar. If I go back, I get sad face. And if you were to open, it says it's because it violates the frame ancestors foobar. And if I set it to like localhost 7777, save it. Now we're back. So this is actually, we should highly recommend folks who are doing big embeds use this. It's just another security measure. It ensures that the embedded content will only ever um, render on domains they control. Um, and then ah, I can rotate my embed secret at will. And then the last thing I'm not going to demo this, but um, we started implementing an embed SDK. And just to give a flavor about what that looks like, this is actually on NPM now. See if I can find it. Omnico embed. Hey, here it is. So technically it's out there. Uh-oh. 40 downloads. Um, and what it lets you do is you can import this function, looks like this, and it will spit out the signed URL for you. So it just makes it super easy to generate these things. Um, right now, I think it supports user attributes, everything. So um, yeah, so that's there. This is just for JavaScript to be super clear. We might want to support some other languages like Census has a request to have Ruby supported and kind of have a couple of different thoughts. What I might end up doing is just creating an endpoint that serves this exact same functionality instead of having every library or like having to write this logic in all the different languages we want to support. We can just say like make an HTTP request to an endpoint we control and we'll return to you a signed URL. Um, okay, that's it.